Okay, it's day 60 of our 1 hour day workout. I'm still in a state of shock to hear about Honeycomb Brazy, his grandparents getting caught up in between his rap or street beef or whatever the situation is. All of the details I don't think is really out how the whole situation went down with. I think they got shot first, or I don't know how the house went on fire, but let's talk about it. This is craziness, you know? So, my battery is charging, so we can put that down. Battery is charging while I'm recording. And if you see, I got my Celerate backwards, because we're going to see if we can do some leg curls today. So, y'all know I'm studying for my mortgage broker's license. I took the first one and failed, so I got to take it again. And if I fail again, I got to take it in April. So the next test is in March. But they making changes. So it must be some unfairness going on. They're making changes for the April's test. Because what they would do, they give you 125 questions. And I think 10 of them are not counted. And you don't know which 10 they are. So you're only being graded on 115, right? So they could eliminate some questions that you got right. You don't know if they questions that you got right or you got wrong. You know? So for April, they changing the importance of the tests. Because the main importance they put on it is basically regulations, and now they want to put the actual functions of an originator, you know, mostly those questions to be weighed stronger. So they just, it's the same questions, they just weigh in different, and instead of 125 questions, it's only 120 questions, and instead of 10 being taken out, 5 is going to be taken out. So my next test is March 15th, so I'm going to be taking the regular test. And then if I fail at March, then I will take it again in April, and that'll be the new test, where it's only 120 questions and they weigh it different. So I can't say which one is harder just because they're taking out 5 questions. Doesn't mean that, you know, 120 questions is going to make more people pass. It's just that they changing the importance. They put more emphasis on the job, you know, what you know about originating loans. So instead of, like, right now, the test is more geared towards rules and regulations, like Z and all of that, Regulation B, and which is important, you know, so you don't get caught up with your license doing anything wrong against the rules and regulations. But then you get to the job, and the test, that, you know, the 20 hours education you took in the test, didn't do anything to help you with the performance on the job. So they're going to be weighing in April more on what you know about the job of a originator, which is probably be more math and calculations. So don't just try to put your test off to April because you think it's going to be easier for 120 questions. Because basically the job of an originator is calculations and different packages that, you know, clients qualify for. Anyway, let's get into the topic of today. HoneyKomb Brazy and his this guy is supposed to be signed, I think, to Rap-A-Lot and Jay Prince, right? And I want to tell a little story about how I met Jay Prince at Madison Square Garden in the 90s. When I was trying to come up, I met Jay Prince, okay? So, let's see, what should we talk about first? Okay, yeah, I met Jay Prince and Queen Latifah at that show. So you had, what you call it, Public Enemy was there, Ghetto Boys was there, Queen Latifah, and I forgot who else, but Jay Prince was managing Ghetto Boys. So, my manager was bringing me to the show to show me how, you know, shows go. You know, how, you know, since we've been working on some music, you know, at home, writing songs and recording and stuff like that. He wanted to bring me out and show me, you know, like artists performing, you know, basically what I would have to be doing. So he bought tickets for, his name is Steve Washington, if anybody know from the Bronx. Anyway, he bought tickets for Madison Square Garden, but the seats was way up in the back, high up, way up in the back, right? So, whatchamacallit, we were so far up, and I'm looking down, and I'm seeing like different artists, and I see Queen Latifah, you know, taking pictures over there and stuff like that on the side. This is not when, you know, people was taking pictures with their phones. You know, we were still flicking from regular cameras, Polaroid cameras and stuff, and throwaway cameras. And so I seen her taking some pictures, and I didn't know what to say to her, right? So I just ran over there and told her I was coming up. Hey, what's up, Queen? I'm coming up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she was polite and she, you know, waved and stuff. I wanted to get a picture with her, but I didn't have my camera on me. I think that Steve had, you know, my manager. He was my acting manager anyway. We didn't have no contract, but he was my acting manager and producer and everything. And I think he had the camera, so I ran up there. I didn't even have a camera or nothing, you know? And so I didn't have no way of documenting the moment. But I told her, I said, yeah, hey, what's up, Queen Latifah? How you doing? And she looked over and I said, I'm coming up. I'm coming up. I was telling her that I was coming up and stuff. And then she was like, you know, just wave and took pictures with who she was taking pictures with. But anyway, instead of going back and sit with my managers and stuff, I had left my manager and ran and sat down in the empty seat that was closer to the stage. It wasn't all the way close to the stage, but it was a little up off the stage on a balcony, like, and it was an empty seat. And this man was sitting there, young guy was sitting there, and I sat there. You know what I'm saying? And I was, nervous that somebody was gonna come tell me to move. But, after sitting there for a while, I just like relaxed back and nobody was telling me to move. And so I think I spoke to the guy next to me and asked him a question. I was like, is these anybody's seats? Is anybody sitting here? And he was like, these are manager seats. These are seats for managers. I was like, so you a manager? And he was like, yeah, I manage the Ghetto Boys. I was like, oh. And he was like, yeah. So we didn't have much conversation. So I was like, well, I'm trying to come up, My manager, he's sitting, in the back, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up as an artist. I don't even know if I said that, but, I told him I was trying to come up as an artist and I was working on my music. So he said, okay, here's my business card. Here's my business card. He said, I don't know if he gave me a business card or he wrote his address down on a piece of paper. It might have been more like writing his address down on a piece of paper, because I just remember I had a piece of paper with the address where to mail a demo. So when I get home, I mails my demos. Now I got several different versions of this No Justice, No Peace, because it was more like a political rap, like Public Enemy, like fight the power, like no justice, no peace, right? So I wrote this No Justice, No Peace song with a Marvin Gaye hook on it, right? And I think it was one of the first versions of the song. And then later on, I went out to Brooklyn, and these guys from Brooklyn helped me rewrite it, so it had a final rewrite. But anyway, that's my other phone. Anyway, I got a copy of the song, packaged it and mailed it to him. He did give me his phone number too, because I end up calling him because I mailed him my demo, right? And I didn't hear back from him. So I was like, well, I gave him enough time. I think I gave him about a month or 2 weeks or a month. So I'm waiting for this manager from Rapper Lot Records. I'm waiting for him to call me, because I guess I've been waiting by the phone every day or whatever, because I was like, he gonna feel this, because this is like a true story, you know what I'm saying? And so I called him, and I said, yeah, this is the Duchess. Did you get the song? So he was like, yeah, I got it. I said, well, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, nah. He was like, needs more work. So I was like, what are you talking about? It needs more work. I didn't want to take no rejection or, I guess, constructive criticism or whatever, but he already had his hot group, Ghetto Boys, with a hit song and stuff like that. So, if you was gonna come, you really have to come correct, on that type of level, I guess, because he working with a group that's already hot out there. So he was like, yeah, it needs more work. So I was like, this is a true story. Like, this is like a true, with my family in the Bronx. this is a true, you know, fight, you know. This is a true story, you know, fighting for minority jobs and stuff, you know. And he was like, yeah, nah, I'm not, you know, like he wasn't with it. It needs more work. So I was in tears. You know how your voice be crackling? So my voice was crackling, I was in tears. And, you know, so I was like, okay then, and I hung up. But I never send the song back to him again, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I went back and made a different version of the song, but I just think he didn't like the whole concept altogether, you know what I'm saying? I think he would have preferred more like a jingle, you know what I'm saying, than, you know what I'm saying, than, you know, a political rap. I think he would have preferred something that, you know, people could dance to or whatever, or recite, you know what I'm saying? So when I did revise the song, I never sent it back to him again, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to waste my time. He said it needed work, but he never really told me like, yeah, I really like it. You know what I'm saying? Well, he didn't call me. I had to call him to find out what he felt about it. So basically, he wasn't never gonna call me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think he liked the song enough, whether I revised it or not. You know what I'm saying? So when I did revise it, I never sent it back to him. Because, you know, I just figured that's not, you know, what's going to be popping. And basically, it wasn't, because back then the political rap, you know, people was doing political raps and, you know, positive raps and, you know, Queen Latifah was singing Unity and all of that stuff like that. But now you see what's, you know, you see what's popular. The gangster rap is what prevailed, you know. The gangster rap, you know, the Biggies, the Tupacs. So yeah, so that's how I met Queen Latifah, and I met, you know, Jay Prince, you know what I'm saying? Because over the years, you know, as the internet came along, I was like, wait a minute, because I had really, you know, I seen him when he was younger. I was like, that's the guy, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't his sons, because it was in the 90s, so his sons would have been like babies at that time, you know what I'm saying? And he was the manager of the Ghetto Boys, so when I put it all together, I was like, I'm like, that's him, you know what I'm saying? That's Jay Prince. That's the guy that I sent my music to that had me in tears, that rejected my song. And probably ended my rap career, because at that point, you know, I just felt like maybe he just didn't like my sound, my overall voice, or nothing, you know, because sometimes you can have that good voice. A person don't like the song, but they like your, you know, back then they might like your sound, you know what I'm saying? They might like your cadence, your flow in your voice, you know, your deepness or whatever, your voice texture or whatever. So he didn't call me and say anything good or bad or critique it. I had to call him. Anyway, so that's how I had met Queen Latifah. Jay Prince that night, but I also met Queen Latifah at that same show. And she was on the sideline taking pictures. And I didn't have no camera to say, well, somebody get a picture. I wanted to get a picture. That would have been cool if I would have had a picture from back then. And I recently seen her on YouTube. I seen something, the protector or the something. I seen some show, and it's good. You know, she played that role like she played and set it off like, you know, some like detective or some kind of role or some kind of, yeah, you know, like the tough chick role. So I'm glad to see that she's still doing good. But anyway, let's get to the main story. The main story is the guy Honeykomb Brazy. So that's why Jay Prince come up, because he, I guess he manages this artist, or this artist is signed to him. I guess he's out from Alabama, I don't know. And I just seen him in one video, and what made the video, you know, what made me click on the video was that Jay Prince was in the car with him, and you know what I'm saying, you see Jay Prince rolling with him. So he said, hey, let me see, let me click this. This gotta be good, you know what I'm saying? So click on this video, and this guy, you know, he sounds good. He's a good artist or whatever the situation is, but that's the one and only time I seen him. One and only song that I ever listened to from him, because Jay Prince was in the video, you know what I'm saying? So that's what made me click on it on YouTube, right? I didn't know this guy had so much beef, but the one thing I want to say is that, okay, so the situation happened where his grandparents' house got torched, you know, it went up in flames, and they were in there, they got killed in there, his grandparents, right? So the story came out, it was mad crazy, and the picture had like just flames going to the sky, and you know, like a bomb hit the house or something like that. It looked like a war zone or something, you know what I'm saying? So after that, he put out a statement stating, you know, like he had asked them to move and they didn't want to move, and he represented them in all his songs, and you know, so he felt the need to represent his grandparents, I guess, who probably helped raise him. He represented them in each song, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, I represented y'all in all my songs and stuff like that, as though he did, like, as though that was done, you know, I guess, you know, for a good reason, you know what I'm saying? To, you know, I guess give back, like, to, you know, not forget who helped him out, I guess, before he had anything. Probably was his grandparents. So I guess he was kind of like paying homage in every song to them, or whatever the situation is. Then he was saying something about his grandfather, smoking with his grandfather, you know, those moments, you know, that he'll never forget, or, you know, those moments that he enjoyed. So basically he was pretty close to his grandparents, right? But trying to tell y'all about this music industry, and why sometimes I say I'm glad I didn't make it back then. Like, you got a few females that made it back then, like the Queen Latifahs, Nicki Minaj, Remy Ma. You know, there's just a few that you can name that's gonna be memorable, or their name is gonna hold weight. A lot of them other ones, you know, yeah, people know that they in the game, they got documentation, they was with this group or with that group, but a lot of times, you know, the female artists are not, you know, they are not remembered, you know what I'm saying? They are just like washed up, you know what I'm saying? And they can't make a comeback, you know, because their voice is old, you know what I'm saying? I think male rappers have a longer longevity, like say like a Too Short could come back and make a song right now, you know what I'm saying? And it could he could collaborate or whatever the situation is, and it'll still be popping. Whereas, you know, an old rapper, female rapper from the 90s can make a song and, you know, nobody don't really click on it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll listen for the minute, but it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna bring them back as an artist. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so those reasons, it make me feel like I'm glad I didn't make it as an artist, because right now I wouldn't want to be a washed up female artist. Yeah, I tried, you know what I'm saying, but I never actually signed no deal. So I'm somebody that been independent, even though I just in 2016 graduated with my bachelor's in music production. So I said, well, instead of trying to rap, because these niggas are killing each other, instead of trying to rap, I'll try to make the beats, because I like to work in the music studio. So right now, I switched from Pro Tools and Logic Pro 10 and all that. And I bought Ableton Live Suite, you know. I bought the full package one. Spent almost $1,000. And after I finish, after I pass my mortgage test, I'll get back to learning that studio. I got the book and all the type of videos I was looking at to teach me the program. So I had kind of like put that aside so I could get my mortgage license. But yeah, kind of like glad I didn't make it in the music and as a rapper, because, you know, old female rappers is just washed up. It's like they can't never come back. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just through, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, they're not gonna get no new contracts or nothing like that, because they don't want female rappers past 35, you know what I'm saying? But the male rappers, they still out here rapping at 50 and 60 years old, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so this guy, HoneyKomb Brazy, he was representing his grandparents in every song. But how the rap game is now is like the drug business, you know what I'm saying? It's almost worse than the drug business, because niggas is killing each other left and right. You know, it's like the streets, right? So I would advise any rappers, don't put your mothers, unless they really want to, or your grandparents in your videos. Don't involve them in your music career. You understand what I'm saying? Now, unless this is some situation where I'm thinking it may be in-house, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that already knew him, somebody that was a part of his crew already, or somebody that was a family member. Because I think this is the same guy that, I think he paralyzed a cousin or something, or don't quote me on it, but I think he had a situation with a family member before. So, not saying that that's the issue, but, you know, It be the people closest to you, you know, that know your comings and goings, or could find out your comings and goings through family members that know your family and stuff like that, that could present you with the most problems. You know what I'm saying? So these people knew where his grandparents lived, you know what I'm saying? And they knew that his grandparents meant a lot to him because he kept putting them in the song, you know what I'm saying? So he involved them with his rap beef, street beef. All of that stuff is kind of like mixed up all together, because if you got a street beef and you become a rapper, you know, shit, they definitely don't want to come get you because now you got fame and, you know, you getting up out of Dodge, you know. You accelerating in life, you know what I'm saying? So if you got street beef, it's definitely going to end up, you know, and you becoming a hot rapper. Then he in the video with Jay Prince, so it really, you know. And then every state want to, you know, get up on the map, you know what I'm saying? Like, now Alabama's up on the map. They done blew up the grandparents. So every state want to make some crazy noise that, you know, they got some harsh gangsters and stuff, you know. But I've been talking about this. Women and kids. What about women and kids? I just said that the other day when Meek Mill and Tekashi 6ix9ine met up, you know, and they talking about you a rat. And people saying Meek Mill should have jumped over his security and handled him and stuff like that. But while y'all promoting that noise about somebody who snitched, who's the informant for the government for putting a gang behind bars, you know what I'm saying? You denouncing him, you know what I'm saying? So that means that you promoting the gang, you know what I'm saying? You denouncing him for snitching on the gang and being affiliated with a gang, you know. But like I said, the people in the community is probably relieved that some of that gang activity in their community is slowing down because the Fed's been locking so many people up, right? So what I'm really basically getting at is that, you know, I'm trying to figure out how y'all gonna leave the women and the kids out of it, and that's what I've been trying to figure out. So I said the guys hang on the corners, at the corner store, in front of the buildings and stuff like that. So, you know, old people, women and kids, you know, is unsafe because you don't know if they're gonna have a shootout. You don't know if they're gonna get the fight in, or you don't know if one of those guys is just going, you know, the main thing is you're thinking that one of them guys is just gonna bug out and jump on you out from nowhere, because, you know, all them guys don't have all their marbles. You know what I'm saying? So they be standing out there, and you don't know if one of them need to, you know, what you call it, initiation in the gang or something, and going jump on you or something to, you know, show that they'll do something crazy. So a lot of times when you see them out there, you know, if you don't get out there and go to the store before they come out, you know, you might have to wait till the next day to go to the store. And this is for the people that live in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So Meek Mill and Tekashi 6ix9ine is going home to gated communities. So while we watching, phone goes off every time I'm doing my 1 hour workout. So while the hood is watching them do that, they going home to rest easy at night. And then the hood is gonna be the ones that have to abide by that no snitching and running to beat up the snitch, and all of that activity is gonna go down in the hood. It's not gonna go down between them two, because they going home to rest their heads in a gated community, and they got security. They both got security. You know. So, yeah. So, I was trying to figure out how we could protect our women and our kids and our old people. But with this happening, it's like they're saying they don't give a fuck. You know, anything's a go. You know what I'm saying? But if you're making rap songs and, you know, you talking that gangster stuff and you got rap beef and stuff like that, and that's the lane you decide to go, you decide to take, don't represent your grandparents in every song. Don't represent them in no song. Because then now you're involving them in your street beef. And you know, this rap stuff, it used to be like I said, when I went to Madison Square Garden and seen Queen Latifah, it's almost like I was starstruck. Hey, Queen Latifah, wow, hey. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, it's like, if you see one of them artists, it's like, get away. You know what I'm saying? Because it might jump off at any minute. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like seeing a drug dealer, you know, and you know that, you know, yeah, he got money, but stay away because there's a lot of problems surrounding him. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing the way the rap game is now. You see these rappers, get back, you know what I'm saying? Try not to take pictures with them because, you know, you don't want to get caught up in their shit. If you a family member and you see them coming up in the rap game and they getting a little fame or whatever the situation is, stay back. I see a lot of family members, sisters and cousins and mothers, you know, and grandparents and stuff like that getting involved. This is because these artists are shooting videos from home, right on their block, you know, right around their family. It's not like back in the days where, you know, the record companies was giving them a big budget, you know what I'm saying? And they would go shoot these expensive videos, you know what I'm saying? On the ocean with helicopters and all kind of stuff like that. It's not like that no more, you know. They could just shoot hood videos to show and prove that, you know, they come to the hood or they from the hood or this is their hood, you know what I'm saying? So that separate them from, you know, I guess the suburban niggas, you know. Hey, I'm not from the suburbs. I'm from these projects over here. This is my hood over here, you know what I'm saying? So all they really have to do now is shoot a video showing that, you know, they from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Or like Chief Keef and them, they shot the video right in their grandparents' living room. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be careful, artists. Be careful involving your family members, because this rap game is like the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's like selling drugs in the streets. And, you know, mainly if you know niggas and then, you know, you get a little fame or you shoot a little video or you get seen with J Prince or the P. Diddy's or the Babies, you know, those moguls. And, you know, niggas is really going to want to get at you. They're going to want to make some noise now because, you know, they want to get some attention because you done made it to a level and they want to either stop you or get recognition for themselves. You know what I'm saying? or maybe extort you for some money, extort you for your money. And like I said, all that stuff is looking good. You sign those management deals, record deals, or whatever, and they give you a little front money. Most of the time, they spend their front money real quick. And, you know, it's all just glitter, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, everything that glitters is not gold, you know? It's all just glitter. So I said it in another video. Don't be sweating these artists. Back in the 90s, I had a cleaning business. And I was trying to be, at the time I was trying to be an artist, a rapper, right? And, you know, TLC, you know, was, you know, doing the Waterfall song and all that. And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? If I could just only make it, you know what I'm saying? To come to find out that them girls wasn't getting nothing but pennies, you know what I'm saying? The money I was getting from my cleaning business, I was getting more money from my cleaning business than they was getting from their career. But I guess, you know, the fact that they had to be sitting up in hotels and, you know, traveling on flights, and they were seeing places, they was going places and doing shows and probably laying up in hotels, and that's about it, you know? You know, and they sounded good, they was doing good music, but, you know, anybody that had a regular job was getting more money than them, you know, according to the contract, the deal that they signed, you know? So you gotta be careful, you know, sweating these rap artists, and you don't really know the real truth behind, you know, their finances. You know what I'm saying? You might be sweating the artist, and he really don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? He's getting put up in hotels and shooting, taking pictures in hotels and shooting videos and stuff, because that's all all left to his budget. Any free money for himself, is probably spent. You know what I'm saying? But the company's gonna make sure he got money to make his songs, get into the studio, make his videos, and push his music, so the record company could recoup. But personally having money, most of them is more in debt, you know, because a lot of that show money and all that stuff, you know, they independent and they got to be paying their own taxes. So, you know, they got to go get a CPR, an accountant or whatever, a good accountant to make sure that they paying their taxes. And that's just not, you know, they not being really business minded to take care of the business end of stuff. So don't be jealous of artists when you see artists make it, rappers make it and stuff, like, oh, I want to be in that position. You know, not really. You're not really sure about that, you see? And make sure, you know, you're trying to make it. You putting your loved ones and your kids and your grandparents and your mothers in your videos and stuff like that. Just make sure you ain't got no beef out there in the street. Make sure you're not doing diss tracks and stuff like that, you know? So this guy had been shot up 8 times, you know what I'm saying? So they almost killed him once. And then they put something on World Star where he was telling about his, you know, back and forth beef. And he was saying something about their grandma's house. So that grandma house situation talk came up prior, you know, because he's on video talking about somebody's grandma house. So I don't know if they targeted somebody else's grandmother's house, or But he said he didn't want to have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if one of his people was targeting his ops grandmothers, or his ops was trying to get at his grandmother. Like this is not a new issue. You know what I'm saying? But don't put your grandparents, no matter how cool your grandfather is. My grandfather's cool. I smoke weed with him, you know. No matter how much, you know, your grandfather might have been in the streets or might have been gangster back in the days, you know, us older people, and if you're young, you know, the years is going to pass by. You ain't getting no younger, you getting older. So you will get here. That's why I have no qualms with, you know, telling my age. Anyway, I'm proud of my age. I'll be 55 this year. I'm proud to made it this far. You know what I'm saying? You know, even if your elders all gangsters or was gangsters in the past or hustled in the past or whatever the situation is, don't involve them. You know what I'm saying? He said that his parents, he was trying to get them to move every day, but they wouldn't move. They said whatever's meant for them is meant for them. When it's their time, when it's their time to go, it's their time. That's what people think and stuff like that. But for some young punk to come and take you out over some bull crap is not your time to go. It's not really considered your time to go. I'm busting more of a sweat doing this than the other way. This is the leg lifts. I turned the whole machine around. And instead of lifting my back, I'm lifting my leg, and I'm busting a sweat. So today is day 60, so that's like 2 months. That's 30 and 30, you know what I'm saying? And I only came down like 10 pounds, and I don't agree with that. I don't think that's good enough for 60 days, so I went on a liquid diet on the 14th. Today is what, the 18th or the 19th? Yeah, today is the 19th, so I'm on a liquid diet. As long as I can handle it, but I'm cool with it. I bought some Welch's grape juice and some apple juice. You know, you just get all the juices that you like. But before you go on a liquid diet, talk to your doctor, because I know some people got illnesses like diabetes and stuff and different things where they have a particular diet that they have to abide by. So make sure you talk to your doctor before you do what I'm doing. But like they said, a human could survive off a teaspoon of honey every day. You know, some people be going on the water diets. You can't just drink water by itself. You have to, you know, have, I guess, some kind of protein. And I think honey has everything that you need to survive if you take a teaspoon of honey every day. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see how long it's going to take me with this liquid diet and my exercise and working my abs. Mind you, this is no jogging. See, if I was jogging, I probably would have dropped more weight. But you know, you gotta be patient with it, because what happens when you go on a liquid diet and you're not taking those solids, and your body start storing fat, because you know, so it could prevent you from starvation. You know what I'm saying? So your body start doing its own thing, you know. So maybe for a little while I might not show much of a loss, but we should get past that stage Y'all see my stomach. Y'all see me crunching my stomach every day. Trying to get rid of this fat. Yeah, so that was a shocking thing. Everybody was lost for words yesterday. Like, everybody was lost for words. I was like, what the hell? You know? But like I say, you can't put nothing past people because you might have grew up with certain morals and respect for your elders, like some of us older people. And some of these kids, they wasn't taught nothing. They grew up in households where, you know, like I said, maybe their parents was on some kind of drugs, or maybe in gangs already, and with the don't give a fuck attitude about nobody. You know what I'm saying? They might be being taught different, like, you know, like, you know, some people are being taught that, you know, I don't care if it's the mama, woman, kids, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these gangsters out here don't care if it's women, kids, your grandma, your grandpa. If you got beef with them, you know, anything's a go. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you gotta stay out of the way. Like I said, I try to take care of my business in the daytime, get what I need for my house, and get in. And I don't be nowhere in the street. So if anybody got beef with me in the street, you know, they just want some sucker shit because I be in the house. If I'm not doing my 1 hour workout, I'm laid back in my bed and I'm studying for my mortgage test. So, you know, and I'm never outside. I never do the, you know, oh, I'm going outside to smoke weed, or I'm going outside to have some drinks, or I'm going outside to hang out in front of the building. I never do that one. The hanging out in the bars and the hole in the walls and at the clubs and stuff. I don't do that one either, because where any black people gather, I don't even go to cookouts. Anywhere black people gather, something bound to happen. Somebody bound to have beef with somebody else, or somebody bound to step on somebody else's toe. You know what I'm saying? You know. Some people haven't, you know, been taught to respect their elders. Some people haven't, some kids not taught their manners, you know, like, excuse me, sorry, you know, pardon me, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, you know. They bump into somebody and look at them like they did something wrong, instead of saying, you know, oh, excuse me, please, sorry, you know. So that's why I say I don't like to play no games in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I don't want to play, you know what I'm saying? Don't play with me that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, people might say, well, how she talk about so much beef in the street and she says she by herself, and because niggas is outside playing, you know what I'm saying? You know, they being threatening like it's a game, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as, if I come out of my bag, you know what I'm saying, and curse somebody out, then they gonna really wanna take it there, you know what I'm saying? But as long as they're doing something crazy, it's okay. But once I come and voice my opinion, everybody's hurt, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I open my mouth and say something, oh Lord, look what she said, you know what I'm saying? She said, what the hell you looking at, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? What you looking at me like that for, motherfucker? You know, it's gonna hurt them to their heart, you know? And look what she said to me. Oh, she don't like me. Oh, she thinks I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna take it to the full extent. But yet, every day that I go out and come back and forth, I get all of this mean mug, all of this muscle up, and all of this stuff like that. Well, I'm not talking about now, but I'm talking about before the feds had came through and did their sweeps through all of these projects. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about back then, prior to, let's say, 2016. You know, and I was in college, you know, in the house, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't trying to, you know, deal with nothing in the street. They be thinking that you think you're too good to be hanging out with them, but I be in the house trying to make it, you know? I be like, what can I study? What tests can I take? Like right now I'm taking the mortgage, trying to get my mortgage license. You know, can the mortgage bring me up? I'm a real estate broker, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got my bachelor's in music production. You know, I just be getting everything, you know, trying to make it. It's not that I think I'm better than nobody else here. It's just that I just be, you know, while they out there drinking and smoking, I just be educating myself and trying to get different licenses and maybe an opportunity to come along with something, you know, to get me up out the hood, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, I'm fine with it as long as I move the way I move, you know what I'm saying? And I stay out of the way, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I like to look out the window and see action, you know what I'm saying? You know, I might move to the suburbs, I might get my license for mortgage and, you know, step my game up with my real estate license and all, mortgage license all together, and end up in a quiet suburban neighborhood. And then I'll really be growing old. I'll be like, damn, I made it to the suburbs. It's quiet. Look out the window, nothing's going on. No gunshots at night. It's getting boring. It's getting boring out here. You know, but, you know, sometimes you get used to this shit, you know? You get used to the noise and the ruckus. When I was younger, and I used to live with my sister, she was up in Riverdale in the white community, and we used to come down to the South Bronx to go, you know, to the clubs, 371, and hang out. And I used to be down in Mount Haven and Millbrooks and running through the projects and stuff like that. So, you know, and then I knew I had some place nice and quiet to rest my head, you know what I'm saying? So, I understand the enjoyment of the excitement, you know, of the streets and stuff like that. But these niggas is getting too out of hand. It's getting crazy. You know? And they don't, that go to show you right there, they don't give a fuck about nothing. And it's always gonna be a copycat. And that right there was a statement that niggas is gonna abide by. Look, we blew up his grandparents' house. You know what I'm saying? But the grandparents in there. So I'm trying to wait to hear the full story, because some witness said that they seen some guy shoot at the house, or shoot into the house, and then the house blew up. So what did they shoot? They shot off a rocket? Did they hit the stove? Or did they have a rocket launcher? Like, what did they have to shoot into the house that made the house blow up? Is this 59? Yeah, we almost an hour in. So y'all, you know, be careful with your family members, putting your family members involved with your rap beefs and your videos and your songs and stuff like that. And, you know, just stay away from the rap beef, because you don't, you know, while you can hide out at Jay Prince's house or in his property or whatever the situation, then they over there blowing up your grandparents in the house and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know your parents don't want to move and stuff. Leave the rap beef and stuff alone. It's excitement to them guys. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is excitement. Getting shot and surviving and coming back and still shooting videos and stuff like that. It's all excitement to them. If I got shot up 8 times after rapping and rap beef and all that stuff like that, I probably would hang up the mic and wouldn't come back and probably find another profession. I probably would quit, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I guess there's a lot of money involved. You know, but that's just so sad. Rest in peace to Honeykomb Brazy's grandparents, and hopefully there's a life after death, and you know, they moved on to a new life, a new world. Anyway, that's my hour. Day 60 is up, and let me get back to studying for my mortgage test. All right, so peace, y'all. You know, just don't go after being a rapper and arts and stuff like that. Try to get some education, try to get some licenses, try to keep your criminal background clean. If you didn't join the gang, don't join none, because they getting hit with the RICO law and jail ain't no good, you know what I'm saying? That reputation is not a good one, you know. So I don't know why they be bragging about their jail bids and no snitching and all that stuff, because, you know, try something new for a change. Okay, so peace. I'm out. Y'all like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Peace.